was just wondering if my NVIDIA settings need to be updated on this computer if I on the laptop. I'm sending the tar back to DHV challenges. Yeah, you know what? It would be really great if I didn't have to fucking get you guys supplies. I can at least cross the open desert much easier though. there was just no reaction for them to like, oh, we're what the fuck? What if my controllers like problems coming back in? Without the Magellan over here, it's really hard to try and remember where the fuck they are.
Order completed. Well done.
You know what would have been a really cool idea? This was actually allowing us to have our own open-backed, like, off-roader. Actually giving us the ability to try and reverse engineer like one of the bandit ones. Because I was just thinking to myself, you know, it would be really neat having something that had an open back that could just stack cargo up past the top a little bit. Strap it down like you normally would do, and you know, it just, I think it'd be a cool idea.
That's why.
What? Oh. Even though I was probably supposed to use all the materials that were here to make the structure. All those materials that were used. Yeah, this is big animation. Sponge mills, ceramics. I'm actually looking for that one. And then I'm going to drop everything off the DHP channel.
You're mine.
That Krow infiltration thing's really nice. The data scientist wasn't giving me awful likes. Don't play Cairo bridge. Use the Cairo bridges. They're not useful. They're just problematic. In all seriousness, Cairo bridges are just not good. Like, they've never been good. Like, there's some areas where like, it just doesn't rain in the first game, and they could be used to bridge gaps and whatnot. Don't get me wrong, that's where they have their uses. But that's kind of where it fucking stops, if I'm being honest with you.
You're mine.
For the fact the road goes through this area, this would be a good zipline spot, but I know where there's going to be a better fucking zipline spot. And that place will need the zipline network. I would love to get my hands on Game Awakening, but I also would love to have a good computer for it. Oh, I guess speaking of, I may not be doing much streaming today, cause I might have the beginnings of a computer that is probably going to end up going to my mom, just because Intel 4th gen isn't really much for me to work with. Not with the kind of gaming I like to do. Like this. or Hellblade 2. Ooh. I really don't think that in comparison would work. At least not the motherboard. The case I fucking hate too, to be honest. Like, I'm probably just trying to sell the case for $20. I absolutely hate the goddamn thing. Which kind of leaves me at, like, you know, nothing at all, basically. But, hey, you know, I don't want to deal with the case. It's really, really crappy because it's one of the ones that you kind of have to slide off after taking off 2 screws. But there's this little piece of metal that keeps on getting in the goddamn way that it needs to go into a slit, and if you don't fucking do it right, it doesn't work, and if you do it right, it still doesn't work. It's fucking annoying. Point being, though, is that apparently I'm going to be building my mom a PC before I build myself one. Because lady's old and emulation's kind of something that she needs. So she can at least see her games better and actually, like, get to play them too, in a way that they should probably be meant to be played in this current day and age. On top though, I guess the fact of something I realized with last Christmas is a lot of these like handheld consoles and old consoles and whatnot, that plastic's no longer good. I dropped a Game Boy Advance SP and I hit a corner of a coffee table and broke it. I mean, like, fucking broke it into 2 pieces, more than 2 pieces. But the point being is the fact that they don't last. Like, that was a big eye-opening fact for me. On top of that, I would love, I would love to be able to have personally, and she also actually started to realize this too, the ability to actually, like, tailor our games the way that we want them to be looking, or the way that they should be looking, while having the ability to be keeping them portable and on a device that we use constantly. Essentially now is to consolidate all of our data, our games and whatnot. And then that way, if we head out, it's not a choice of what do we bring with us, or like, how much room do we have. It's the, I'm just gonna bring this, and it should be good. Grab this, grab that, grab a charger, and head on out. Plus, maybe for the love of God, I might be able to get her to play something new before she dies. Wouldn't that be something? Got 2 messages. And a whackload of nothing between us and there, so. Except for that fucking sandstorm. Care to explain how some shitty little tree broke stuff that I've been jumping around with, basically? Okay, yeah, so this game's gonna want to try and fucking explain to me, I think, how the hell that worked. It's like I get really, really confused when I bump a tree like that and nothing breaks, but I fucking like do a bunny hop basically,
You're mine.
and everything's all hunky dory. Granted, that was probably just also like container damage too. Why the fuck did they need a sports belt over at the motherhood? I don't fucking question it. I shouldn't question it. You see, I smacked that tree and nothing.
Look, Sam, a hot spring. Shall we take a dip?
Okay, after this.
Thanks for the help, Sam. And apologies for greeting you as a chiral grant, despite all the effort you put in on our behalf. I'm tied up with ship repairs at the moment. Can't afford to risk contaminating this work site either. Anyway, let me check your cargo.
Okay, look, you're looking at the cargo yourself. You're gonna
On
risk
your Sam.
contamination.
This cargo looks to be in perfect condition. It's no wonder your client speaks so highly of your work.
You actually can also thank the load button too, or sorry, the load option in the fucking menu. Oh, nice.
Cheers for that, Sam. This'll take care of that blockage, no worries. We'll get started right away.
We can handle the blockage. It's fine. I'd rather you get some sleep so you're ready to tackle your next
Oh,
work.
it's
By the time you wake up, we'll probably be finished anyway.
ain't
Enjoy
it
your rest.
fucking flooded in there? How am I supposed to get to my private room? Like, isn't it fucking flooded? Excuse me. just start like building up some roadage here too. I'm being honest. Like, I don't think the tar bags would keep back, like, sorry, the sandbags would keep back the tar. Okay.
Sam, we've used the information provided by the Motherhood's doctor to identify the location of the weapons factory. Stopping the supply of these weapons at the source will make it far easier to carry out future missions. Whereas leaving the factory alone only increases the risk of networked facilities coming under attack in the future. So let's shut it down ASAP. Tarman has already made preparations. Access the THV Magellan's delivery terminal to pick up this main order. Tarman will explain the rest.
You know, I love the fact that these guys are just like, hey, you should do that thing that you're supposed to do to begin with.
Something wrong tomorrow?
As usual, Drawbridge can't help but run its people ragged. Each time we take the DHV Magellan into the currents, the level of tar pollution on board increases. Which is why everyone has to pitch in to clean the ship after every trip. In spite of that, we still find ourselves stymied by nasty blockages like this one. Tarman broke 3 mops attempting to dislodge a particularly stubborn wad before throwing up his hands in despair. Although he failed in that epic struggle, I can only respect his dedication.
Well, the constant battle against entropy.
Yes. The doctor's talents were a sight to behold. A psychic midwife. I've never had the opportunity to watch one at work before. How many children has she held in those hands of hers, I wonder? I expect she knows a great deal about BB units as well.
But probably not very much about Sam and his situation.
Come to think of it, I spoke with Rainey earlier. She tells me Tomorrow's making excellent progress with her studies. Before we left to see the Motherhood, she was tackling and solving relatively elementary problems. But it seems she's since progressed to intermediate and higher level ones. At this rate, she might
Well, I mean,
surpass our
she
own
very obviously
Motherhood
has
before
understanding of
long.
physics if she could
To
literally
learn
whip
is
those
to
guys
grow.
around like they're rag
To watch
dolls.
her grow so quickly has been a delight.
Like, I think you kind of have that understanding of what that's like. Well, no, not really, because I don't throw your dumb ass around. Oh, fuck, I am such a dick to him. Like, to be fair, he kind of deserves it. Like, he is a little bit in your face. Actually, he's more in Sam's face about stuff. When he just doesn't have, he just has no right to be, man. I don't care that you think you have a psychology degree. I don't care that you're a psychiatrist before you became a doll. You don't get the right to be getting up in someone's fucking face about their past and what they deal with and
Sam,
whatnot.
your next order is a little complicated. If I'm
Ask
being honest.
maybe.
I'll brief you on the
See if they
procedure
want to
once
let
you
you
review
in.
the relevant
Don't just
information.
assume you get the fucking
Go ahead
in.
and accept this main order on the terminal.
Cause that's part of what would just completely shut me right out from Dollman. I would probably end up getting him fucking stuck on the ship if it was me. Just, When people are that direct, I'm like, no, I'm good, thank you. Make myself a brand new one. I didn't even look at my exoskeleton. It's not that bad. He's not that bad. Yeah, buddy. One thing I will give Dollman though is that he does seem to be attempting to be in the moment. I just really do think that he needs to be toned down heavily. It's a very much so I am a psychiatrist. I know what I am doing. Tell me about your problems, and people like that just
Okay, Sam. This next
shut me
order
up the
calls
fucking
for you
wall.
to infiltrate a weapons factory and disable the weapon fabricators you find within. The factory is located in this area. Although it's outside the chiral network, they have fabricators capable of producing advanced weaponry. We don't know what kind of security they have on site,
Well,
so make sure
that's the
you're
thing about the first game is that the first game was
everything.
very, very aware
There's
that it was
also a
coming from
vital
our
piece of
time.
equipment you'll need to take with you.
They could
We'll get it
remember
ready
things
once
like
you've
3D
finalized your
printers. Not chiral 3D printers, but legitimately old 3D printers. They made reference to that stuff. Now the game just, this one feels like it's pretending like the world doesn't exist.
And APAS has determined that you won't be able to hack into them but with this device in your possession, it'll be hacked and they'll hacking. So be sure to we'll conduct a full analysis. Oh,
Okay.
and a word of warning. This device can so whatever you do, get the job.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to say it like that. But I definitely do feel like this game is kind of it forgets that there was a world that preceded it. Cause there's a lot of references in the first game to just stuff that we have in nowadays times. Like I mentioned before, 3D printers, the Internet of Old. Well, sorry, as they called it, the Internet of Old, I do believe was the exact words. But now it feels like they just kind of omitted it. It's supposed to be like that. Hey, we didn't really mean to reference that, which is kind of bothers me. It just feels really weird at this point. At least to me, it feels super fucking weird. Because it's kind of like, why would you reference those in the first game, and then in the second game try and make it seem like it's this self-contained world? Like, where was the history of this world? And like, that's why I feel like the first game was really heavily dependent on. And like with these guys here, where they're like, well, we don't know how they have the ability to make all this stuff. Well, 3D printers. We know that you can 3D print a gun. Just take a guess that that's maybe this game is like 5-10 years in the future from right now. From like right now, 2030, 2035. I think it'd be more than feasible that you could 100% 3D print a gun and have it be functional for more than, I don't know, like 150 shots. I feel like you could have that thing functional for like 1,000 rounds. Easily, if not maybe more. And that's just because, like, that's just how technology is moving at this point. It's how a lot of technology is just progressing. It's insane how much it's moving and how quick the rate is. And that's kind of also another thing too. I feel like I have to gripe on that. A lot of this doesn't feel like classic Kojima's style for when it comes down to how he like shows off things in his games. I guess like perfect examples, Metal Gear Solid 4, or even just like Metal Gear Solid series in general, where there's a lot of things that came out that ended up being a reality. Like PMCs being on the rise happened during the Afghanistan war. OLED being a standard screen. Something that happened in Metal Gear Solid 4 happened in real life. Dead internet theory, as a lot of people like to try and point out, even though don't really quite believe, like, say that that's an actual thing, because if the internet was truly dead, then why would you post about it? Why would you post that the internet is dead? Why would you make a YouTube video? Why would you do anything? Like, even if these bots are the reason why you get paid, why would you do it? Why would you actually try and upload any content that is worth its salt? That's something that like gets me super confused. It's when I hear like dead, oh, the internet is dead. There's nothing on the internet. There's no people. It's all bots. Well, then why are you posting real fucking content still, or trying to? Just post the most mind rot, brain rot, dumbass shit like a chunk of other people have been. Like, it's just my 2 cents on it. If you really think the internet is all dead and whatnot, okay, then just give up. Just, you know, give up on your career, let it be complete dog shit, horse crap, and move on with your life. Like, that's why I don't think the internet's dead. Suffering, yes. Dying, yes. Decaying, abso-fucking-lutely. Dead, not by a long shot. There are still tons of people, and I mean tons of people, who are talking and communicating and getting their ideas out there, making brand new art. Yeah, and there's a ton of AIs that are doing the exact same damn thing too, but one, can we stop calling them AIs, because they're not actually fucking intelligent. They're about as intelligent as people assume other human beings are, which really should just be that social art, that, well, I guess, should be that, you know, fucking, god, what was I gonna say again? Should be the comment on social terms and, well, on the sociality of human beings in the modern era, basically. Like, it's just commentary on how we treat each other in the modern era and how we think of each other. Which really isn't great, but at the same time, you know, realizing the problem is half of dealing with it. Like, I'm definitely not like someone who's completely an outlier against anything I bring up or talk about. Fuck no. Just as bad as everybody else at times.
Wait, Sam. I don't think we're alone out here.
No, we're not. So glad you noticed. If you're not looking at things like dead on, Sam gets really blurry-eyed on them. Which is, it makes sense actually. You know, they have this entire place just surrounded. I didn't really want the assault rifle, but thank you. Yeah, no, fucking, apparently, warm weather drains my stamina too, Sam. Treat them like BTs. Huh. Too bad I didn't bring a ladder. Shit. Problem solved. Problem solved. That guy seems to be a bit alerted. Everyone seems to be a bit alerted now. Shit. Oh, I kind of also thought it was just. I didn't expect it to be right here.
Okay, we're here. Use your ring terminal expansion device to hack into the fabricator terminal. Those fabricators are toast. We've extracted the necessary data as well. Let's make our escape and return to the DHV Magellan. Don't forget to bring the ring terminal expansion.
Let that yawn out. There's no pretending. I will hold you and protect you. So let love warm you till the morning. Hey, brother. Did you miss me?
Hell no.
Yeah, I figured you'd pay this place a visit, seeing as how I've been distributing the fruits of this fine factory all over the continent. Some guns and violence, the whole damn world could be yours. Same as it ever was. Oh. Looks like you decided to trade in that rope for a stick this go-round. Well, I suppose even a porter has to pull the trigger from time to time. Oh, what about you? Hey, buddy. Are you just another soulless little husk, huh?
Let go of me!
Oh.
Pathetic guitarist. Where's the rest of your band?
Well, ain't that something?
Was it you, Higgs? Huh? Was it you that killed Lou?
You still don't know, do you? Sam the man in the dark about everything.
Fuck you know about my kid?
If you want answers, you're gonna have to find them yourself. But the ones you do find, well, that pain you nurse will only get worse. Now, I gotta say, I'm not a big fan of that fancy boat your friends brought along, so before they show up, how about I get a little taste of that endless agony? Hmm? Something special just for you. Bit of that rope you like so much. This here, my guts. And they'll grow tighter over time. You best believe they will pop your head clean off. But you are a patriot. And you'll just keep coming back. Only for my boys here to keep doing their thing over and over again. So you'll just die and die and keep on dying for all eternity.
Sam!
Yeah. Really, it's a shame you won't stay dead. But hey, locking you in a cycle of endless suffering, well, that's good too. So let's let the glorious game over loop begin. The fuck? Big Red. Just you and me dance, huh?
The flesh wounds. Get back up, you pansy.
Bitches like me. Sorry, Sam. We'll have to have our fun another time.
Hey, who the hell are you? No, wait!
What on earth was that red behemoth anyway? The way it wielded that sword was almost reminiscent of a samurai. friend of yours, perhaps?
I don't know about that. But they helped me out before.
In any event, I think it's time we left this place. Come on, Sam. Let's get going and return the ring terminal expansion device to the DHV Magellan.
Like, man, Sam literally asked, who the hell are you? And you had a fucking dumbass idea to just be like, hey, friend of yours? Fuck no, dude. You were literally there when it all happened. You should close your eyes for some of it? Fuck. Also interesting how in an open tab review, Sam isn't having to worry about anything. Like, I'm still getting sunburned. I don't have to worry about the heat. Seems like a little I'll also go on the wrong way too. So it's the fact that of everyone, it's both Sam and Higgs that actually understand what's going on. Lou just can't stand. Like, Sam gets a simple. Sam gets the fact that Lou is get back to you, you son of a bitch. You're white. I'm taking you. Okay, so we're the wise never do that to a kangaroo. Like, I'm not joking. Don't ever do that to a fucking kangaroo. Do not go up to a kangaroo. Do not think you can hug a kangaroo. Do not think you can tackle it to the ground. You cannot do that. Don't ever fucking try to do that with a kangaroo. That's literally the smartest thing I can fucking tell you right now.
Sam, you forgot to grab the ring terminal expansion device.
Okay, I'm gonna go drop off this kangaroo first. Actually, I might just grab a cigarette first. Because, I had to deal with a lot earlier. Got this place to stop off at. Probably not gonna load like full mountain, like that 470 basically. I'm not even going like right away for the animal shelter either. We can go that way. I should be grabbing that extra sports belt too, but yeah, I probably should go for a smoke right before I get Jones in. Because nobody likes to strip Jones in for a nicotine break. Well, I guess another like tidbit to add to the kangaroo thing that I mentioned before. Don't go near the water if there's a kangaroo either. Like seriously don't. Especially if it looks like it's inviting you, don't fucking do it. Like, you will live much longer and a lot better of a life. Like, even if you are like neck deep in depression, you hate yourself to this absolute fucking degree, don't goddamn do it. There's better ways of going. Because that kangaroo will bend you over and drown you. In that order. If, actually, I think in that order. Have to look it up, but yeah, no, they are very, very notorious for just being little assholes. Which is why you don't fuck with a kangaroo. It's not just because they can hurt you back, it's because they will fucking violate you if you so much as decide to play fuck around and find out. They are very great at making you find out. So yeah, neat tidbit about kangaroos. They're the last creatures you play fuck around and find out with. Fuck.
Gotcha.
Yeah, okay, you know what? I'm on the road. This at least is like mostly done. Then getting to the animal shelter and DHV and chilling should just be simple as that. I'm going to be right back. Ooh, I'm also really hungry right now. Also, unfortunately, too, this might be my only stream today. Because I gotta worry about managing storage on my laptops, managing storage on my phone, fixing up computers, like seeing if I am going to be confident enough to want to switch over the motherboard from one computer case to the other, because it'd just be better off with the other case. Because the other computer case is kind of similar, where it has two screws in the back, but it just doesn't have as much pain in the ass ring to it. Now I gotta watch out for those guys back there. Yeah, once I get back to Magellan, I'm just gonna stop the stream because like I do have a whole lot to focus on today, unfortunately. Like, I'm not really that tired right now. I'm not really that tired. I think I'm a little bit tired. Watch out for the fucking animal. just 'cause I'm here, it's here. Just might as well. More legs. Gotcha. Okay, yeah, no, so if you destroy, like, the big, just go and call them, mouses, because, like, that's kind of what they remind me of, is, like, well, flats, actually, they kind of remind me of flats from Final Fantasy, but if you destroy them and their smaller ones, you get a whack load. I mean, a whack load of Chiron. Okay, and then after this, it's going to be straight back to the jelly. Not just any kangaroo, but a white kangaroo at that. Aha, I fucking knew it. Fucking knew there was going to be like rare versions of animals.
We wouldn't still be here carrying on our work without your... Oh, we've upped your allocation of materials again. Now display your current quarter grade. If you're keen, take this. Huh?
Oh, is this going to let me see, like, sense animals better or something? Animals are less likely to run away with you when you have it. Alright.
The design. Attach it to your backpack and you'll have an easier time getting close to animals before they get... It's a personal favourite. I hope it'll help you to support... Visit us again.
To be fair though, the game does equip me with tranquilizer gun, like tranquilizer weapons, so... Okay, so I think I will take some ceramic from you guys, and definitely some metal. 600 will do. That will do. Okay, back we go. There's a bunch of them right here, alright. At least I got an extra one. Alright, well. also have to figure out which version of Linux I'm going to be putting on. It doesn't come with the operating software, and like I think the last operating software it came with was Windows 7. And with it being like 4th gen of Intel, like I can only really assume that it's not gonna do good with Windows 11. And honestly, I'm getting kind of tired of Windows 11. Oh, actually, I'm more or less getting a little bit tired of Windows, just because like yeah, it's really over bloated. I have it on 2 of my laptops. I don't really game on the laptop that's currently streaming, but the one that I do game on, it does make playing games on it a bit of a pain in the ass, really. Because at any given time, I could literally lag out from Copilot, or say I'm looking online at stuff and I'm wanting to download things. Well, then there's a chance that Microsoft's just going to screen capture it, which I found a few screen captures of. And it makes me super worried, because like I kind of thought that me browsing was going to have a little bit of legitimate security to it. And I kind of forgot those captures were taken too and everything, so like, yeah, it's a bit of a worrying thing, really. So I'd rather have something that, like Linux, that can actually, considering it's just going to probably end up being for my mom emulation, so that way she can surf the internet. She doesn't need anything that's going to be worrying about anti-cheats or whatnot. She just needs something that's going to work. And with Windows, I don't have the ability to, like every 5 years or so, switch out parts for her plus myself, if I get to that point. Because like I would love my own computer, don't get me wrong, I would love that. It's just at this exact moment in time, I kind of have to worry on very specific things. I'm kind of looking at emulation with like, you know, wonderful eyes, or at least like wide-eyed. And so is she, specifically because she realized that she can play all these old games again, and she can even use the action replay on top of that too. Like, I think that's the thing that's going to really just send her over the moon, is the fact that she can do the action replay stuff without needing to sit there and input every little code. She doesn't have to spend like 3-4 hours putting in every single code that she wants, making sure that they all work and they're right before she gets to go play the goddamn game. Like, the lady is old. And with how video games are progressing, like, she, like, with the stuff I've told her about the Switch 2, about the fact that, like, it's $630. It can run your stuff, like, really good for the Switch, games and whatnot. But at the same time, it's the fact that it's costing as much as pretty much my PlayStation 5 did, but having a severely limited library on top of just some things not really being optimal. Like, a lot of people are just not impressed with their Switch 2. And truthfully, I can't really blame them, because like, I look at the Switch 2 and I'm like, you know, it's really cool. I would love to own one if it was a bit cheaper. Because that's always where Nintendo's won, and their selling points with me, to be honest, is when they make things cost efficient. When things are cheaper. So like, basically what I've been trying to say is that, like, if someone told me when I bought my PlayStation 5 that the Nintendo Switch like 3 years from then would be up for grabs, but for almost the exact same amount as my PlayStation 5 was, I probably would be like, alright, cool, does it come with anything I really want? Sweet. And if I get told, well, no, it's just HDR LCD screen. Well, I'm not even mad about the LCD screen, because, like, I have a Switch 1. Like, original Switch 1. Thing's fucking old. But, like, if you told me that it essentially is meant to be like a little upscaling machine, but for that much, and it runs exactly what you could get you fucking kidding me? A cheap, pretty much if you got yourself a cheap mini PC, it does the exact same thing, from my understanding. Oh my god, wow. That is a really far back autosave. But like, that's the thing I've been looking into recently, is like a mini PC or a cheap PC. So that way I can get emulation going for my mom and myself, and I'm realizing that like Nintendo Switch 2 is just not worth it. Depending on what you want to play, it just may not be worth it. Period. Like, there's a high chance it's not worth it, actually. Because if you take the price of, like, buying secondhand PC parts, making yourself your own little, like, emulation machine that's meant to emulate everything that you can, up to the point where you're, like, modern. Like, for just argument's sake, we'll just include Switch in there and well, I guess PlayStation 4 really isn't modern, because anything that they release for PlayStation 4 has a PlayStation 5 upgrade path to it. Or gets the PlayStation 5 upgrade path to it. And it usually ends up running kind of like dog shit till the PlayStation 5 version comes out. So argument's sake, we include Switch, PlayStation 4, and, well, I guess not really Xbox One, because that's still kind of, from my understanding, trying to get itself up and going. And it's in that weird gray area, kind of like with the PlayStation 4, I feel like. And not really the Switch, because things are still being made for the Switch, but if you want to include up to your modern era, you should be able to make one easily for, I want to say, in between like 350 Canadian. No. Well, I'm at $30 right now, and I already got a chassis, motherboard, extra power supply, I think CPU, and heatsink. Plus an optic drive. And, well, I say optic, but like, if anyone doesn't quite understand, DVD CD drive. So I kind of have like a decent amount right to start with, and I already have another chassis that can go into with its own power supply. I think a better heatsink for the CPU. I'm not too sure if the heatsink would actually work for the CPU though. And I think I would have at least decent enough RAM to get it up and going. So the brain can at least remember things, the CPU can at least have some memory to utilize. And that's just for $30 right now. And that's just at $30. If I wanted to just, you know, say, oh yeah, okay, phone on top of that to run to run the games through emulation. Well, the phone's currently free. I'm just having to pay for it every month, basically. So we just more or less like just take a device of any sorts. Hell, even my tablet, which was like I think $200, and it can run PlayStation 2 games. It just cannot run like it can run Samurai Warriors 2 Empires 3D levels, but it can't run Final Fantasy VII Dirge servers. That still gives me wide access to a lot of things, and like a good chunk of Nintendo's library if I really wanted to for emulation. Which, like, believe it or not, that's probably the thing I try to preserve the most. Like, I'm not even joking. And honestly, I think Nintendo should take that, like, as a win. That people are trying to preserve their games more than they're trying to preserve other people's games. Like, those are games that apparently have been built to last. Like, don't get me wrong, I still want to keep, like, copies of, non-Nintendo games, like stuff like Kingdom Hearts. I would love to have my own files for. I totally thought I grabbed some ceramics. Huh. Because I remember grabbing ceramics. It didn't save that? That is so fucking not good. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Because I grabbed at least 320 ceramics and 600 metal from the shelter. And that autosave was after the shelter. That's not good. The game forgot what some of my inventory had. Oh, that is all kinds of not good. Like, in all actualities, that is just all kinds of not good. And it makes me wanting to actually, like, build up the roads and whatnot. Not really great. It makes me actually just want to get all the way over there as quick as I fucking can, and that's going to be the plan. Get back to motherhood as quick as possible. Without any more fuck-ups. But yeah, I guess, like, the point I was trying to make across is, like, Nintendo Switch 2 doesn't seem quite worth it. Especially considering that you can possibly spend, like, I don't know, maybe 2/3 of it, and get access to way more items, and way more games to be able to play. While also being part of game preservation in itself as a whole too, which is kind of a really important thing at this point, apparently. Like, I like the whole entire idea of stop killing games, but I also like to play a little bit of devil's advocate when it comes down to that. Where pirate games does have a point on a very, very small number of games, a small minority of games. They, like, giving them an offline mode is a lot harder than it seems. It's not as quite as simple as changing a 1 to a 0. It kind of ends up being like months and months and months of work that in the end kind of has to go unpaid, or someone has to keep that fucking payment, which sounds on a consumer level like it's not our issue, not really much of a problem, but at the end of the day ends up becoming our issue because, well, they're going to make their money back somehow if they have to. So, like, I get what he means when he says that, like, it's not, you can't just, like, flip a switch. But I do understand the fact that that's only some games. That's not all games. Like, something like, I would say Diablo 4, that would be a nightmare to get set up for an offline mode. because you'd have to find a way to to actually populate the world, so that way the players didn't feel like they're the only people there, or the only things that were actually real in it. Because like anyone that's ever played Diablo before, when there's just been nobody around, it's fucking empty, man. Even with the mobs, like you could have a whole entire like fresh group of mobs just running around. It could be just loaded with them. But then eventually you'll just feel it get empty and devoid. Like there's just nothing there. It's kind of like that, like empty feeling, like Diablo 3, where you get into those areas where there's like all that devastation, houses are burning and such, where like you're meant to feel like there's nobody there because like they left, but it feels like that everywhere. Like even the cities feel kind of devoid to some extent. It's a very different feeling, and not like a great different feeling either. But that being said, a lot of other games can get an offline mode that's not impossible. That's not out of the realm of possibility. Like a lot of games can live offline and actually be preserved. Because in all honesty, when it comes down to being like, I don't know, another 50 years down the road, these ideas are going to potentially either come back, people are going to want to revisit them at some point within that time period, or it's going to have to be, recognize the fact that, yeah, there was stuff back then during this time, but we don't remember it. We don't have any way of preserving it. Like, this is how history is made, literally, by writing things down and making sure that we knew it was there. Or in this modern day and age, making sure that we have digital backups. But yeah, I think it's going to be it for me for today. I got so much to do. Oh.